This video was supposed to be about how the Electro-Voice EVOLVE 90 column array speakers are an absolute game changer. You know, like everything's a game changer. And the truth of the matter is that these are not a game changer because these aren't playing by the rules. These aren't playing games. The EVOLVE 90s don't play games. They are just in a league of their own. And the reason I say that I was supposed to make this video be about that is because of what happens next. Check this out.
Oh, it's parachute day! Everyone got excited for parachute day! You have parachutes.
I've probably used these speakers at 20 gigs, everything from corporate events and weddings to beach club gigs like you see here. And the other day, we were set up at our gig at this beach club, ready to go, and I'm ready to film content with these speakers, and there is not a cloud in the sky. All of a sudden, it says on our phones, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in our area, and we check the radar, and it's rolling in, and it's rolling in fast. But it looks on the radar like it's just gonna hit us with a light drizzle. We're under an awning a little bit, so we said, okay, let's just go for it. So we started playing, and people at the beach also were waiting around for us to start playing. Well, 2 songs in, the sky just completely opens up. Something black, like Stranger Things, just rolls in. Clouds, everything goes dark. Wind just whipping the trees. And all of a sudden, we are getting sandblasted in the face with sand. Yeah, sand. We were getting sandblasted in the face with sand. So now at this point, we had to rush and get a tarp over everything, thinking that this storm was just gonna kind of blow over in a little bit. And so now the people who were working at the beach club worked really hard to get us tarps, and we just threw them over everything. And we just worked really hard to get it over everything. Now keep in mind, everything is there. Our modelers, amps, guitars, saxophone, our rack unit with all of our in-ears and our mixer built into it. And of course, the Electro-Voice EVOLVE 90s. And this stuff is all about to go through a severe thunderstorm on the beach. Now, before I go further on that, what would I have talked about in this video? Well, I was originally gonna talk about 5 things that I love about the Electro-Voice EVOLVE 90s. I love that they have gobs and gobs of power. Each one of these units is 2,000 watts. I think that that's absolutely phenomenal. And there could be the argument about watts aren't really what matter. But in this case, size definitely matters quite a bit. The EVOLVE 90s have the same tops as the EVOLVE 70s. So they have 4.7 inch high frequency drivers in them, which are great to give you top end, but not shrill. But at the same time, the EVOLVE 90s specifically have 18-inch subwoofers. I always prefer 18-inch subs just because you can feel it in the floor. It's amazing. The second thing that I would have talked about is how just absolutely clean and sleek and professional that these speakers look. I absolutely love how clean they look on stage. This is how clean they look. Ready for this? Check this video out. Here we go. Check this out. In this video, you can see a wedding setup with, a little curtain in front. And we had to actually set up behind that curtain because when we were going to play after cocktail hour for the reception, they were going to break down those curtains and we would already be set up behind them. And if you notice, out the tops of each side, you can see a little bit of our speakers. And because they're so sleek and clean looking, it wasn't bothersome. We weren't worried that we were gonna have these crappy looking speakers in the background of their wedding pictures, They just blended in, you could barely even tell they were there, and that makes me really happy. I was gonna talk about how versatile these speakers are in that they have presets in the EV Quick Smart app that you can go in, and if you're a DJ, whether you're playing live music, whatever you're doing, you can set these speakers up. It's sort of like a preset EQ for different environments. So if you're just plugging directly into one of these for speeches and talking, or if you're a DJ, or if you're a full band, you can actually set them up for that type of environment. It's really sweet. I definitely recommend checking out the Electro-Voice Quick Smart app. I would have also talked about how unbelievably portable these speakers are. I think that's super important to talk about because the tops alone, I can carry both of the tops in while carrying one of the subwoofers. Now, granted, I am a 6 foot, 190 pound man. So just take that into account. But if you have a cart to carry both subwoofers, you can carry both of the tops on your back, no problem, and have everything in one shot, which is just unbelievably convenient. And that leads me to number 5, which is how easy they are to set up with what Electro-Voice calls the Evolve 3-2-1 system. What that means basically is that there's 3 pieces, only 2 connections, and it builds one awesome unit. And at the end of the night, you don't have to have one of your buddies come and help you lift the speaker off the stand or anything. You don't even have to bring other speaker stands. Like, is that crazy? And these speakers also have a 120-degree horizontal spread as well as a 25-degree vertical spread. So you're still hitting everyone in the room with a speaker that really is just about that wide. You know, compared to my face, right? I guess, whatever. It's just unbelievable technology. But what I have to tell you about now is what happened after we had to cover these speakers with a tarp and leave them in the rain for 2.5 hours. At this point of the night, we think it's going to be 20 minutes before we can get back to playing. And now at this point, we have a tarp over everything that is collecting water, pooling water on top of it. The severe winds are blowing through and they're blowing part of the tarp up. The Evolve 90s are getting rained on and then just sandblasted with wind afterwards. And I am absolutely horrified at this point of the night. We saw a window where the rain let up and we grabbed another tarp, and a couple of the workers ran over really quick and helped us tarp them up and put them into the back of a couple carts, and we drove off and got them over to my van really quick. And then the rain picked back up as we're loading them into the car. And now keep in mind, this is the first night of a 3-day run for a holiday weekend. So if these speakers are destroyed at this point, we are screwed for the rest of the shows. I took everything home, the rain stopped, I got it out of the car, I cleaned sand and everything off of them, and I did not want to turn them on yet out of fear of maybe something still being wet and shorting out. So I just let everything just dry overnight and figure it out. So I basically just waited till a little bit before the next gig. I was super skeptical to turn them on the next day, and our sound guy had brought extra speakers just in case, but I just went right to the next gig. I had so much faith in Electro-Voice and these speakers that I just brought them to the next gig. And this happened.
So here we go. We're gonna turn them on for the first time and see if they're actually working. See if everything actually worked. Hold on, let's see.
Where's the on button? I lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh no. Oh, yes! Like nothing ever happened. Like nothing ever happened.
And that just goes to show you how badass the Electro-Voice EVOLVE 90s are. And I'm not recommending that you go and buy these and then spray them with a hose and then sandblast them just to see if they work. I'm just recommending that you go buy them from the links below from our friends at Sweetwater. And if you want to know more about them, you could check that link or watch this video I did for Guitar World magazine.